Cap on Hills TV. So good to know you're there, and of course, it's a lovely Monday morning. Public holiday it is, but we had an exciting weekend as we saw games went down from the EPL. La Liga now has a new leader as Barca now climbs top of the table after a 1-0 victory. Real Madrid playing a 1-1 against Osasuna has brought them to second position. But we have a whole more than that to tell you about this morning. I am Richard Badun. I'm not alone in the studio, like you can see.
Good morning, Mr. Richard.
Very
good morning. I am Ayan Lubem. Welcome to Sports Recap on Hills TV.
All right, let's begin on the ground that Nigerian players actually were fantastic during the weekend, and we saw a whole lot. But before we get back to that story, let's go on this short break. A very big thank you for staying tuned. Let's get back to the stories. Like we began, Nigeria internationals were great during the weekend, as we saw Chidozie Awazim being so important for his side, getting the decisive winner, while Atlanta winning 1-0 was the only goal coming from Ademola Lookman after playing for the Super Eagles during the game against Algeria. Is back, and of course he got the goal against in the Italian Serie A to take his team back to the top of the table, as Victor Osimhen seems to resume training, but right now will be on private note. But let's get into the fact that Confederation of African Football CAF has actually reopened the bid for AFCON 2025 hosting rights. The African Football Ruling Body made this known, on Saturday when the executive committee of the body actually met and they discussed on how it will be like. Remember, Guinea actually was stripped of the rights to host the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, known as AFCON. The president of CAF, Patrice Motsepe, traveled to Conakry on Friday for discussions with interim president Colonel Mamadou Doumbouya, but could not guarantee their readiness to host Africans. Other African countries, including Nigeria, who wish to host the African Cup of Nations can now submit their bid. The possibility is what we're asking. How possible is this going to be, and which is the closest country you see hosting this one?
Well, of course, it's no longer news that Guinea has been stripped of the hosting rights for the 2025 AFCON due to some political disturbances in the country. And of course, we had the CAF president going down there to meet with the president to discuss. But of course, that now their chance has been thrown out. But we may see the likes of Senegal, who just won the competition, may be tipped. Also, some other countries, including Benin Republic, were also had earlier shown interest in hosting the competition. But of course, now they have a chance to bid once again.
All right, let's just open our minds that it is an open one now to all the nations in Africa now. You might say not African country, doing it, or a West African country. We don't know, but we just hope to see something bigger when it comes to hosting the Nations Cup. Away from there now, let's go straight to other matters, as Confederation of African Football still on CAF as disqualified the national under-17 teams of Djibouti and Sudan from the qualifiers of the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations, that is AFCON, for the CECAFA zone. The two teams were sanctioned after some of their players failed the mandatory magnetic resonance imaging MRI test, which actually talks about the bone and aging. You know, the bone actually, there will surely be a range at which the bone actually will tell your age. But right now, it seems it's not like that for these two countries, so they have to be banned.
Well, of course, when it comes to football, professional football, the likes of the Djibouti and Sudan, they are not really known. Even in Africa, they are not known for their footballing prowess. But of course, now in this competition under 17, which was last organized since 1995, we saw the teams, some of the players being disqualified due to age. The MRI you talk about concerns the age, although it does not give the specific age, but it gives a range. And of course, the competition is for under 17, and perhaps they fielded some overage players. That's why CAF decided to take this kind of decision.
All right, so now move away from the local scene. Now let's go to the international scene, as it was more like a day. You know, it was a good one, so close, but not really what he expected. And that is coming from one man, no other person, but Max Verstappen. As Max Verstappen has actually shown that from all indication, he wants to get it right, but the weekend was not in favor of him. Now, Lewis Hamilton actually has given up on this, but it seems Verstappen is making it look more competitive and bringing it closer.
Well, when it comes to international racing, the two names, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, have always been a name to reckon with. In the latest one, just over the weekend, his superiority at the weekend positioned him to win the world title in Japan. That is on Sunday. And of course, we saw him winning. He needed to gain 8 points on Ferrari's Charles Leclerc and 10 on his Red Bull teammate, talking about Sergio Perez. Of course, the possibilities of finishing still remain very in doubt, but of course, Max Verstappen showed class yesterday once again.
Okay, Verstappen will have to win with the fastest lap to actually get this one done and dusted. Let's get straight to football, where Karim Benzema missed a late penalty as Real Madrid dropped points for the first time this season when they were held by 10-man Osasuna at the Santiago Bernabeu. Benzema smashed a spot kick against the crossbar in the 80th minute as Real failed to continue with their winning start to the defense of their title. Quickly, Real Madrid are now second in La Liga after that particular one, as Barcelona goes to top of the table.
Well, I think this is good news for the coach of Barcelona, that is Xavi Hernandez. He really worked hard for this. Since he took over the affairs of the club last season, we know the financial woes the club was having last season, but as even the players, some of them wanted to leave. He had to make those decisions. Some of the players getting pay cuts, some of the players leaving, and also some coming into the team. Well, we just have to congratulate Xavi. He has really done a good work for bringing the team to the #1 spot on the league. I think it's something commendable.
Barcelona tops the table after scoring 19 goals this season and conceded only one. 18 goals difference actually keeps them ahead in La Liga, as Robert Lewandowski remains the top scorer in that league. Let's quickly take you to the English Premier League, where we saw exciting matches went down, and that was the Manchester Derby and of course the North London Derby, where Arsenal defeated Tottenham by 3-1. Let's begin with that game. What is your take on that particular game? Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1.
Well, Antonio Conte's side, Spurs, they really giving their best, but it just showed Arsenal they showed class that particular day, beating Tottenham. Tottenham is a team that has become a force to be reckoned with ever since Antonio Conte took over the affairs of that club. Recall what he did last season, I think taking them from the #9th, guiding his team, Tottenham, to a top 4 finish, and that's why they are playing in the Champions League this season after several years. And going into that game on Saturday, he had all the confidence. Starting the new season, he was spectacular. He even held a side like Chelsea to a 2-2 draw. But of course, he was not able to stand the firepower of Arsenal on Saturday, and they had to concede that loss 3-1 in favor of Arsenal.
All right, still to let you know that Manchester United suffered a 6-3 defeat to Manchester City, and it seems the Manchester is totally blue without any doubt this time. Let's quickly talk about it. Manchester United 6. Manchester City 6, United 3.
Well, of course, it was not a good day. It was not the best of Sundays for coach Erik ten Hag, as his side suffered a 6-0 thrashing at the hands of the citizens. In the first half, they were already winning by 4-0 in the first half. And of course, we saw Eric Ten Hag boys trying to turn around the game in the second half and ending it by 6-3. One player you have to commend is Erling Braut Haaland. That young man would definitely go far because he was very, very instrumental getting at least 3 goals yesterday. It was something to be very, very commend.
Well, Erling Haaland stands to be the first Premier League player to score a hat-trick on 3 occasions at the Etihad Stadium, and of course the first Premier League player to score 3 hat-tricks on a row, the fastest hat-trick scored, yes, and of course in just 8 games in the Premier League, others 48, 52, not Ronaldo has actually done more. And of course a sad note happened there in the Asian Cup where we saw 125 killed, and that was not a good one. A very sad story there. We 125 were actually killed in a match game. More of this you get to hear, of course, when you follow our subsequent bulletins on the news. That's the much we can bring to you this, hour of the day. I am Richard Badung.
It was a wonderful time talking sport. I am Ayenan Lubem. Thank you for watching.